Depression, isolation, anxiety, and pain. These 4 things go hand in hand. And today, the anime that you and I will be discussing perfectly expresses all of these feelings. And this anime, I feel, can only be truly understood by those who are or have been in a similar state of well-being. So if you've ever felt depressed or alone, this anime will be perfect for you. Most people, myself included, have had or are having a rough time in life. And we all have our own reasons for feeling this way. For some, it's due to unfulfilled expectations, overthinking, or a lack of passion and purpose. And for others, it's loss, grief, loneliness, or even isolation. There's plenty of things in this world that can make you feel horrible. And this means that depression is complicated. It doesn't always come from a clear reason. It doesn't just jump out at you and say, "Hey, you're depressed." No, it doesn't work like that. Some of you might not even know why you feel the way you feel. And in saying all that, life might feel rough right now, but I promise you, it's not permanent. In saying all of that, let's cheer up, and I hope you enjoy the breakdown. Welcome to the NHK. Welcome to the NHK is an anime that really helped me when I was in a not so great time in my life. It's one of the most brutally honest anime ever made, and it's about social isolation, mental illness, and the dark side of otaku culture. It's a 2006 psychological drama that follows 22-year-old Tatsuhiro Sato. Now, who is Sato? Sato is a college dropout who has spent years as a shut-in, and he avoids society entirely. He's convinced that a vast conspiracy led by the NHK is manipulating people into becoming socially isolated. But unknowingly for us at first, this is just a delusion that he uses to conveniently mask his own fears and failures. The show follows Sato's journey as he tries, and usually fails, to break free from this isolated life. Now, in 2006, when this first aired, it wasn't a massive hit, but it did resonate strong with viewers who understood its themes. And look, this anime won't be for everyone, but for those who will enjoy it, it will move you deeply. So in saying that, unlike flashy shonen action anime, Welcome to the NHK is built different. It is a slow burn character study. A slow burn character study. What does that even mean? Well, that just means it appeals more to a niche audience who wants to deeply understand either a unique character or feeling. However, I feel this anime is more deeply impactful for those who can resonate and understand Sato's struggles. As of today, Welcome to the NHK holds a solid ass 8.26 out of 10 on my anime list, and this ranks it pretty high on top of all the psychological dramas. Alright, let's get into the first episode a little bit. The first episode does an amazing job of throwing us into Sato's warped and paranoid mind. We see his tiny filthy apartment, it's covered in trash, there's leftover food everywhere, and of course, there's anime figurines. This is where we witness the true isolation. Sato has completely cut himself off from society, and we hear his inner monologue ranting about how the NHK conspiracy is behind everything. It's hilarious and confusing at first for us, but then you realize, hey, this isn't a joke. He's deadly serious. This isn't like Okabe from Steins Gate, where he's playing this act of a mad scientist. This is genuinely highlighting one of Sato's coping mechanisms. And as we move forward in the anime a little bit, we get to our first major plot point. Masaki knocks at his door. Now, who is Masaki, you might ask? Well, she's a mysterious girl that claims that she wants to save our MC. And this sets us up for the story's main conflict. Does Sato himself even want to be saved?
Do you think we could watch the fireworks together? For some reason, I think something good would come of it. As long as you have me with you, I'm sure that you'll be just fine.
But putting that on hold for a minute, shortly after this, we meet Yamazaki. Yamazaki soon becomes Sato's main companion, dragging him on all kinds of adventures, and most importantly, an adventure into making a failed visual novel. Back to Sato. Sato really is the definition of a self-loathing protagonist. He's lazy, he's anxious, and he constantly lies to himself about why his life is the way that it is. But at the same time, the show does this excellent job of having us empathize or sympathize with him. But why is that? Well, because there's times in this show where you and I realize, hey, this guy is just like me. This makes Sato relatable in many ways. He's not just some loser who refuses to work. He's someone who is crippled by anxiety and depression, making every little action feel impossible. He lives in filth because he lacks motivation to clean or cook. His self-esteem, it's at rock bottom, and this makes any social interaction feel like a battle. And he's aware of all of these issues, but he feels too paralyzed to make a change. It's a brutally realistic portrayal of someone struggling with mental illness. And unlike many anime that seem to romanticize depression, Welcome to the NHK really shows it in all of its ugly glory. Now, as the show progresses, we get introduced to more characters, each with their own struggles. For example, there's Masaki, who appears to be at first a kind-hearted savior, but over time we learn that she's someone who is deeply insecure herself. Her need to come along and save Sato, it doesn't come from a place of love, it comes from her own fears of being worthless. Then there's Yamazaki. Yamazaki is a classic escapist otaku, just like many of us, I might add. And at first, Yamazaki seems happy. He has his fantasy world of anime and erotic games. But as the story unfolds, we see that his obsession is just another form of self-denial and avoidance. And I can't forget Hitomi.
Whatever. Not like it matters to me.
Hitomi is Sato's old upperclassman. She's a depressed office worker who hides behind conspiracies and self-destructive habits. Pause. This girl sounds like me and my friends. Conspiracies, check. Self-destructive habits, check. That's living. But still, she is another example of how mental illness can creep into everyday life. And honestly, this is where Welcome to the NHK shines. Instead of just talking about mental illness, it will show it to you in excruciating detail. For example, Sato constantly says, "Tomorrow I will go outside." But then guess what? He doesn't. I know, right? Shocking. But the problem here is every time you lie to yourself, you lose a little bit of trust in your tomorrow's self. And over time, this repeated action will leave you with zero self-confidence. For example, let's just say it's not you and it's someone else. Would you trust someone who lies to you every day? No, you wouldn't. So why is it any different for yourself? Now, outside of this, anytime Sato tries to leave his apartment, he convinces himself that people are laughing at him or that he's going to make an idiot of himself. This is that beautiful thing called anxiety. I'm sure you've heard those voices before in your life. Now, as a reaction to this, Sato then falls into various rabbit holes like MMO addiction, pyramid schemes, hence game development, or even subscribing to my YouTube channel. He does all of these things in a desperate attempt to give his life purpose. And for me, one of the saddest parts is we look to Masaki as someone who can come along and save our main character, when really she doesn't have that ability and no one has the ability to fix your depression. And that's where I learned the biggest takeaway from this series. Yes, we need people to support us and to love us, but that change to make depression go away, it has to come from within. No one can pull you out of that dark place but yourself. And that's what's great about this show. It never gives you an easy answer, because there is no easy answer. And even at the end, when we're used to having this happy conclusion all the time in anime, we don't get that. What we see is that Sato is still struggling, because that's what life with depression is. It's an ongoing battle, and it's never going to be and never will be something that can just be fixed overnight. Now, how does any of this make you feel better? It sounds like a miserable story, and how the hell did this help me with my depression? You must think I'm a freak. Well, yes, I am a freak, but sometimes the brutal answer is better than just beating around the bush. When I watched this series personally, all I was doing was being miserable, binge watching anime, and then going to the gym. That's it. And watching this series really helped me relate to what the characters were going through. And in a weird way, even though I know they're fictional, they made me realize that I didn't have it so bad. None of us really have it that bad. Someone is always having a worse time than you, and someone is always going to come out on top of that. And yeah, after watching this show, I just felt less alone, because it made me realize that it's okay to be down every now and then. I always used to be someone who was striving for happiness every single day, and when I didn't get that, I would almost have this little hissy fit. But that's not life. It's okay to feel sad, it's okay to be down, but ultimately you need to pick yourself up and keep going. And that's why the Welcome to the NHK anime hits so hard. Now, as I said, this show might not be for everyone. It's slow, it's heavy, and sometimes it's frustratingly real. But for those of you who will resonate with the show, it'll be one of the best anime that's ever been made. So let me know down below, drop those comments. Have you seen the series? Did you enjoy it? And if you made it this far, don't forget to slap the shit out of the like and subscribe button and my anus, and I'll be seeing you soon for another video. And also, make sure you click this video right here. Ooh, or is it over here? I can never remember. Whatever it is, it's good. Okay, love you.